But
so obviously over the weekend, Indiana played Purdue, a game that you did not get to see. But what if I told you that at halftime in West Lafayette that Trayce Jackson-Davis had 0 points? Well, that's enough right there.
Yeah.
I think there was something else a stat that stood out. I cannot remember what it was.
I saw this.
The free throws were the rebounding and the free throws were already, even at the half, were already unbelievable, astronomically different. So
they were at the end. It was 40. I got the stat box up here, 46-30 final. And Purdue took 33 free throws and Indiana took 12.
And four of those came in the last minute. So in essence, it was 33-8 in free throw attempts.
The only like I said, I watched a little bit of it, had it recorded and just watched a little bit of it before it came on this morning. And the only reason you would think that is like you have to actually see the game to see why it happened. And because obviously, again, like I had a sense I had it on a laptop that I was only kind of watching, and it's just they decided to let Jalen Hood-Schifino beat them. I mean, they basically were saying okay, we're gonna play this drop coverage. We're gonna let you get within 6 feet and see if you can hit floaters all day. And Jalen Hood-Schifino is like, you know what I can do? I can hit 6 foot floaters all day. I can do that. That's the thing I'm good at. If you're gonna hand me that shot all day, I'll take it. And that worked. And it's just if you're gonna play that much drop coverage and you're just gonna say, Trayce Jackson-Davis is not beating me today. You're gonna have to find somebody else to do it. Generally that's not a bad recipe to beat Indiana because they've had a lot of nights where they haven't gotten a lot of contributions out of everybody else. But it's specifically the way that they did it. By playing drop and saying I am going to let Jalen just back Ethan Morton all the way down to about 6 feet from the paint and let him pull up and hit a floater. And I'm going to see how many times he can do that. The answer in this question, the answer in this situation was he could do it 14 times.
Yep.
And he can get fouled and he can get to the rim and he can hit a three here and there. And if you're also going to do that and you're going to drop wings into the paint too, like Trey Galloway and Miller Kopp can hit wide open catch and shoot threes. Miller Kopp has always been able to do it, and now Trey Galloway can do it. That's a new thing. But you can get beat that way, and so it's if you were obviously it can work. You can decide you're taking Trayce away, and maybe those guys have off nights, and you can definitely win that way. It's been done. It's been tried before. But they handed them stuff, and it's at a certain point. Those guys can burn you. I mean, they're Big Ten college basketball players. And Hood-Schifino's a great player. It's you're giving 6 foot floaters all day. Well, he's gonna hit them.
Well, and that's kind of what I thought was the strategy. Almost I think Matt Painter was if we let Trayce Jackson-Davis go off, they're gonna hang around. We are better off to let a true freshman try to prove he can beat us on the road in this intimidating environment. We're gonna force him to hit shots. And when Indiana's hitting shots, sometimes it doesn't matter how well Trayce Jackson-Davis is playing, as we saw over the weekend. Yeah. So we've been talking about this. That was what Jalen Hood-Schifino did was that's one of the best performances I've ever seen, considering the environment, considering he's a true freshman. He never backed down, never batted down. I'm saying period. I'm sure
here's the funny
you could go back in the annals of time and
he
see
scored
it better,
35 points. He hit 1 3-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because he
35 points, 1 3-pointer, and only 6 free throws.
By the way,
everything else was just gritty, grimy, get in making great decisions with the ball. Mm-hmm. And it would just amaze me that they continued into the second half to say, okay, you're going to be the guy to beat us. And he just kept doing it. And they just couldn't stop him.
Well, and to this point, I feel like what he did in that game has become a lost art in basketball. Taking those chicken wing jump shots,
mid-range jumpers, man.
Nobody does it. But if you can knock that down consistently, you can be one of the best scorers in the game because everybody's willing to give up that jump shot. I think again, that's another thing that I think if you said Matt Painter, he's going to shoot from that spot every time, he's going to take it because it's such a lost art in basketball. But if you can knock down that shot, you can make a living in that game.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when he's established as good at that. That's the only thing that I would say about that is, like, you've seen him do it. You know, it's on tape. Like, and they're like the guys. There are only a handful of guys that are really, really good at it anymore. But like Chris Paul hits that all the time. And so, like, if you're playing Chris Paul, like, you know, that's there. That's it's more than in his bag. It's darn near automatic. And it's just like, so, like, you either have to operate on the assumption that he's hitting every one of them, you know, and like you have to do the math anyway. I guess the thing about it is it's just like, yeah, I understand it's a lost art, but it's a lost art that you know that he's good at. You know it's there. That's on the scouting report that he hits that little, you know, that elbow jumper coming off the ball screen. Like, he's really good at it. And so, like, they're like, when you know a guy's really good at it, it's like you can't be shocked, you know, when he hits 14.
Well, right.
So
I mean, my point was not against him or like, I'm just speaking. You don't see guys shoot that shot very frequently anymore. Like, it's just
no,
it's gone out of the game because you're either going to the basket or you're shooting a 3-pointer. And it
right.
to me, like that to me, that's how I grew up watching basketball. That's how a lot of players made their living. So that's what made that interesting to me, was not that he hasn't proven it before. It's just, I've never seen somebody feel so comfortable to shoot that many shots in one game from that spot and be so successful at it. It's refreshing.
Yes, that my point was more from, I mean, like, and obviously I have just immense respect for Matt Painter. I mean, I obviously got to cover him for a couple of years, and I think he's just a super smart guy. I mean, like, so I'm not here to, like, you know, rag on Painter as a coach or anything like that. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, he shouldn't have been surprised at a certain point. It's like, that's what's on tape. You know, like, that's what's on tape is he's good at that shot. And no, I mean, like, not only that, like, the ones he hits when he's really good are actually tougher shots than he got. Like, it's more, you know, 12 to 15 than it is 6 to 8. And he was getting a lot of 6 to 8, you know, is sort of what I'm getting at, is that, like, you know, you can live with, you're going to force him to shoot from foul line and above, you know, like, and it's like, okay, like, I know he can make that shot. I know it's doable, but I'm betting he can't make 10 in a game. You know, like, if I'm forcing him to shoot above the line, I'm betting he can't make 10. That's a good bet, you know, today. Like when he's on, like he was cooking against Ohio State and he hit that shot, you know. And so it's like, all right, like, if I'm going to force him to shoot from 10 to 15, you know, I don't believe he's going to make 10 to 12 on me in the course of, you know, 40 minutes. But when you're giving him 6 to 8, like, and he can, you know, get that going downhill and just, it's a little floater, like, you're not making it hard on him.
Right.
I guess is my point. Like, that's what I'm trying to say.